Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
It's great to be back.
Today we're going to be looking at something a little bit different, parasociology.
Ooh.
And specifically, we're going to be looking at Chapter 5 of the book Spooky Success by John Gold.
Yeah, this is a fascinating chapter. I think a lot of people will get a lot out of this one.
Yeah, it's a really interesting book.
It is.
And it's got some pretty out there ideas.
Right.
But, I think there's a lot of really interesting things to think about in here.
Absolutely.
So we're going to just kind of dive right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
So this chapter is all about how we can kind of harness these unseen forces for success.
Right. And you know what I think is so interesting about Gold's approach is that he really challenges our typical understanding of what success even is.
Mm-hmm.
We often think about it as, hard work, talent, those sorts of things.
Right.
But Gold is saying there's this whole other layer
Yeah.
to success that we often overlook, and that is these larger unseen forces that are constantly at play.
So you're saying there's this like whole hidden world that's like influencing our lives. And if we can tap into that,
Exactly.
we can actually like boost our chances of succeeding.
That's the idea.
That's pretty wild.
It is. It's a big idea. And I think, the way that Gold explains it, it makes it a little bit easier to grasp.
Okay.
He suggests that we're all part of what he calls a common brain.
Okay.
A collective consciousness
Right.
that's influenced by both the physical and the non-physical realms.
Right.
And he uses this really powerful analogy of ripples becoming waves
Okay.
to kind of explain how our actions, no matter how small, can have a huge impact on the world around us.
Okay. I get the ripple effect.
Right.
But how does this like play out in real life?
Yeah.
Can you give me like an example
Sure.
of how someone's seemingly insignificant action could create like a positive ripple?
Absolutely. I mean, think about something as simple as like planting a tree. Now, on the surface, that might seem like a pretty small act, but that tree absorbs carbon dioxide. It provides shade. Maybe it becomes a home for wildlife.
Right.
And then, someone else sees that tree and is inspired to plant one too.
Right.
And all of a sudden you have a whole movement of people planting trees.
Yeah.
And that can have a significant impact on air quality, local ecosystems.
Wow.
Even community pride.
That's a great example. It makes you realize we all have the power to like
We do.
create positive change.
Yeah.
Even in really small ways.
Absolutely.
But Gold also talks about how these positive actions can sometimes lead to pushback.
Right?
That's
He
right.
does point that out.
Like, why is that?
Well, he says, when you start making positive changes,
Right.
it can disrupt the status quo. And sometimes the people who benefit from that existing system might resist or even attack those who are trying to change it.
Oh, it says like they don't want things to change.
They don't want to rock the boat.
Interesting.
Yeah, and he uses some pretty big examples.
Okay.
Like historical figures.
Okay.
Like Jesus and Hitler.
Oh, wow.
Obviously very different figures, but to show how, individuals who disrupt systems often face opposition.
So it's like a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You have the potential to create like amazing change.
Right.
But you also have to be prepared for the challenges.
Yeah. You got to be ready for the backlash.
That come with it. It's like Gold is saying, if you're going to play the game of life, you better be ready for like the contact sport version.
That's a good way to put it. I like that.
Yeah.
But, he also provides us with some tools to navigate these challenges.
Okay.
And one of the key tools that he talks about is what he calls the law of interaction.
The law of interaction.
The law of interaction, and this is a big one.
Okay.
He breaks it down into 3 key components.
Okay.
The first component is that socialization often masks our true potential.
What does that mean?
Well, we get so caught up in societal expectations that we lose touch with our authentic selves. We're not even really sure who we are anymore.
So we need to like reconnect with our inner child, that like spark of creativity and individuality that we might have lost along the way.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it.
Okay.
And then the second component of the law of interaction is that we are constantly interacting with both physical and non-physical realms.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What does he mean by non-physical realms?
Right.
Is he talking about like ghosts and spirits and stuff?
Not necessarily. It's more about recognizing that there are energies and forces at play that we can't always see or measure with our traditional senses.
Right.
It's about being open to the possibility that there's more to reality than what we can perceive with our five senses.
Okay, I think I'm starting to get it.
Good.
So we need to reconnect with our authentic selves.
Yes.
And be open to the idea that there are these unseen forces that are influencing our lives.
That's right.
What's the third component?
Okay, so the third component of the law of interaction is about understanding and harnessing these interactions to become what Gold calls the conductor of the orchestra of energy in our own lives.
Conductor of the orchestra of energy.
I know, it's a great visual, right?
Yeah.
And so he encourages us to pay attention to these little nudges and signals that we get, especially in our dreams.
In our dreams.
Yeah, he believes that dreams can provide valuable insights.
So it's like our subconscious mind is picking up on these unseen signals and trying to communicate them to us through our dreams.
Precisely. He believes that our dreams are a direct line to our inner wisdom.
Interesting.
To that part of us that's connected to this universal consciousness.
Okay.
He suggests keeping a dream journal.
Right.
And paying attention to recurring symbols or themes.
So we're talking about being more mindful.
Yeah.
More attuned to our inner world and the subtle signals that are all around us.
That's a great way to put it.
It sounds like this law of interaction is all about becoming more conscious of the interconnectedness of everything.
You got it. And that's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because Gold argues that the key to success lies in aligning ourselves with these broader forces that are at play, both seen and unseen. It's not about luck or chance, but about becoming aware of the energies and influences that are shaping our reality.
So it's like we've been given this map to a hidden world.
Yeah.
But we need to learn how to read it.
Exactly.
But hold on.
Yeah.
How do we know which signals to pay attention to?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah, are we talking like mystical signs and stuff?
Well, Gold says that we are bombarded every day by unseen signals.
Okay.
And that some are more obvious than others. So how do we know which ones to pay attention to? It's not always easy to know, right? But he suggests that you really pay close attention to your intuition. Those gut feelings that we often have but tend to ignore.
Yeah.
You know, he believes that those instincts are often tapping into a deeper level of knowing.
So it's about trusting your gut.
Yeah.
Even when logic might be telling you something different.
Exactly. And it's also about recognizing patterns.
Okay.
And synchronicities in your life.
Okay.
Have you ever noticed how sometimes things just seem to fall into place effortlessly? Like you're being guided by some unseen hand?
Oh, yeah, totally. Like when you're thinking about someone and then they suddenly call you.
Exactly.
Or you like randomly stumble upon the exact piece of information you were looking for.
Yeah, those are the kinds of synchronicities that Gold is talking about.
Okay.
And he believes that these aren't just random coincidences, but meaningful events that are orchestrated by a larger intelligence.
Okay, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
So if we start paying attention to these synchronicities and our intuition, then how do we actually harness these unseen forces for success?
Right. Well, he emphasizes the importance of setting clear intentions.
Okay.
He suggests getting very specific about what you want to achieve and writing it down.
Okay.
You know, that act of putting your desires into words.
Right.
It helps to focus your energy and attract the necessary resources.
So it's like we're sending a signal out to the universe.
Yeah, you could think of it that way.
Just saying like, this is what I want, and then the universe is going to conspire to help us achieve it.
Well, it's not quite that simple, but the principle is similar. By setting a clear intention, you're aligning your conscious mind with your subconscious mind. And with the larger forces at play, you're creating a magnetic field that draws opportunities and resources to you.
Okay, so it's not just about like passively wishing for things to happen.
Right.
We need to actually take action and make choices that support our goals.
Intention without action is like having a seed but not planting it. You need both to manifest your desires.
Gotcha.
And Gold also reminds us that success isn't a solo endeavor.
Okay.
He really encourages us to build a strong support system of like-minded individuals who share our values and aspirations.
So surround yourself with people who believe in your vision.
Yeah.
And who will support you along the way.
Exactly. It makes a big difference.
Okay, but let's go back to this idea of unseen forces for a second.
Sure.
Gold also talks about the subconscious mind playing a role.
Absolutely. He believes that our subconscious mind is constantly interacting with these unseen forces, picking up on signals and cues that our conscious mind often misses. And he suggests practicing things like meditation or journaling.
Meditation?
Yeah.
That sounds a little woo-woo.
I know.
Even for this conversation.
It can sound that way.
How does that help us achieve success?
Well, meditation helps to quiet the chatter of the conscious mind. And allows us to access the wisdom and intuition of the subconscious. It's like tuning into a radio station that's always broadcasting. But we're usually too distracted to hear it.
So it's like hitting the pause button on all those thoughts and worries and anxieties and just like listening to that inner voice.
Precisely. And Gold believes that this inner voice is connected to a much larger consciousness. A source of wisdom and guidance that's always available to us.
So are we talking about communicating with spirits here?
Well, Gold leaves that open to interpretation. He acknowledges that some people might find that idea a bit far-fetched, while others might embrace it. The key is to be open to the possibility that there's more to reality than meets the eye. And he encourages us to approach this with a sense of curiosity and exploration. Experiment and see what resonates with us.
So it's all about finding what works for you and what feels authentic to your own beliefs.
Absolutely.
I mean, even if we're not like channeling spirits through meditation, it seems like there's a lot of value in quieting the mind.
There is.
And listening to that inner voice.
Absolutely. And that inner voice is often a lot wiser than we give it credit for. It's connected to a deep well of intuition and creativity that can guide us toward our goals and help us navigate challenges.
But isn't there a risk of like making stuff up? Of just like mistaking wishful thinking for some sort of divine guidance?
That's a valid concern, and Gold acknowledges that discernment is important. He suggests paying attention to how you feel when you receive an insight or an intuitive nudge. Does it feel aligned with your values and goals? Does it bring a sense of peace and clarity, or does it feel confusing or stressful?
So we need to like check in with ourselves and make sure that the guidance we're receiving is truly aligned with like our authentic selves.
Exactly. It's like having an internal compass that points you in the right direction.
But what about those times when you feel completely lost? Like you have no idea which way to turn. Does Gold have any advice for those moments?
Yeah. He emphasizes the importance of trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust that you are always being guided even when you can't see the path ahead. And he suggests using things like affirmations or visualizations.
Affirmations. So like repeating positive statements about ourselves and our goals.
Exactly. The idea is that by consistently affirming positive beliefs, we can reprogram our subconscious mind and create a more positive and empowering reality.
I can see how that could be helpful. But what about when we face like setbacks or challenges? Does Gold believe that we can actually use these unseen forces to overcome obstacles?
He absolutely does. He does. Yeah, he believes that by shifting our perspective, we can transform challenges into opportunities for growth. He encourages us to view obstacles as tests, as opportunities to learn and strengthen our resolve.
So it's not about avoiding challenges.
No.
It's about like learning to navigate them gracefully. And use them to our advantage.
Precisely. He suggests using visualization techniques to imagine yourself successfully overcoming obstacles and achieving your goals. He believes that by repeatedly visualizing a positive outcome, we can actually influence the energy around us and attract the support we need to succeed.
That's pretty powerful stuff.
It is.
But let's be real. Not everyone's going to buy into this whole spooky success concept.
It's true.
Some people might think it's a bunch of hocus pocus.
That's fine. And Gold doesn't claim to have all the answers. He encourages us to approach this with an open mind and experiment with different techniques to see what resonates with us. He emphasizes that there's no one-size-fits-all approach to success.
It's all about finding what works for you, what feels authentic to your own beliefs and values.
That's the key.
But at the core of it all seems to be this idea of connecting with our inner wisdom.
I think so.
Being aware of the unseen forces around us and making conscious choices that align with our goals.
It's about recognizing that we have more agency than we realize. That we are not just passive recipients of fate, but active creators of our own reality.
That's a pretty empowering message.
It is.
It's like gold is giving us permission to dream big,
Yeah.
to believe in the impossible, and to trust that we have access to a level of support and guidance that we might not have even realized was available to us.
It's all there waiting for us.
Okay, so we've talked about a lot of stuff in this deep dive.
We have.
Tapping into our intuition, aligning ourselves with these unseen forces.
Yeah.
Even like the power of our subconscious mind. Yeah. If we had to like boil it all down, what's the one key takeaway you think listeners should walk away with today?
I think for me, it's that success isn't just about what we do in the physical world. It's also about the energy we bring to our endeavors.
Right.
The thoughts we cultivate, the connections we make with the unseen.
So it's like there's this whole other dimension to success that we often overlook.
I think so.
We get so caught up in like the hustle and the to-do lists and all that stuff.
Daily grind.
That we forget to like tune in to that deeper level of awareness.
Exactly. Gold is reminding us that success is a holistic endeavor.
Right.
It's about aligning our minds, our bodies, and our spirits with our goals.
But how do we even like begin to do that? I mean, if for someone who's been operating purely in like the material world, this whole spooky success thing might seem a little overwhelming.
It can be a lot to take in all at once.
Yeah.
But I think the beauty of Gold's approach is that it offers a gradual path.
Okay.
He's not asking us to become overnight mystics.
Right.
He suggests starting with small, manageable steps.
Okay, so what's a good first step?
Well,
for someone who's like intrigued by this, but doesn't know where to begin.
I would say just start paying attention.
Paying attention.
Yeah, become more mindful of your thoughts and feelings.
Okay.
Notice those moments of synchronicity when things just seem to fall into place.
Right.
Start a dream journal.
So it's like becoming a detective of your own life.
I love that analogy.
Looking for clues and patterns that might reveal a deeper meaning.
Exactly. And as you become more aware of these subtle energies, you can start experimenting with different techniques to harness them.
Right.
Maybe try meditation or visualization or explore different spiritual traditions. See what resonates with you.
Find what works for you.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong way to do this.
It's a personal journey.
It is a personal journey.
Gold also talks about the importance of building a support network.
Yeah.
Right.
He really emphasizes that we're not meant to do this alone.
Yeah.
You know, surrounding yourself with people who believe in your vision and who can offer guidance and encouragement is crucial.
It's like having a team of cheerleaders who are helping you stay motivated and focused on your goals.
Absolutely. And it's also about being that cheerleader for others.
Oh.
You know, success is not a zero-sum game.
Right.
When we support each other's growth and well-being, we create a ripple effect of positive energy that benefits everyone.
So it's not just about achieving our own individual goals.
Right.
It's about contributing to a larger collective success.
Yeah.
To making the world a better place.
That's a beautiful way to put it. I love that.
Ultimately, I think Gold's message is about remembering our interconnectedness, recognizing that we're all part of something much larger than ourselves.
I think that's at the heart of it.
And when we tap into that awareness, we unlock a level of potential.
We do.
That we might never have even thought possible.
Exactly.
Well, it's a pretty inspiring message.
It is.
It's like he's saying we all have the power to create magic in our lives, to achieve things that might seem impossible.
Absolutely.
At first glance.
It all starts with believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Trusting your intuition and taking those first brave steps towards your dreams.
Well said.
Thank you.
I think that's a perfect note to end on.
I agree.
Thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Into the spooky side of success.
Always fun to talk about spooky stuff.
I hope you found it as thought-provoking and inspiring as I have.
Me too.
And for all of you listening out there,
remember
to keep an open mind.
Yes.
Stay curious.
Stay curious.
And never underestimate the power of the unseen.
Absolutely.
Who knows? You might just discover that the secret to success is a little bit spookier than you ever imagined.
I think you might be right about that.
All right. Thanks again for listening, everyone.
See you next time.